The characteristic of Kalyuga is Kalau Sattvaharam Pumsam. It will deplete the Sattva Guna influence in human being. As a result of which, another name for Kalyuga is Kalaha Yuga. It hurts us when somebody uses the word idol for Krishna. Please don't use the word idol. It has been put in our mind by the colonial rulers. They are not idol, they are Sakshat Bhagavan.
Even after thousands of years, we still have solution to all our problems. Yeah, how does transition happen? ये transition हुआ कैसे? एक नटखट बालक और एक इतने ज़्यादा intelligent, wisdom वाले Lord Krishna.
Krishna, as explained in the Shastra, is Bhagavan. Throughout Bhagwad Gita it says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. It is to remind us, Krishna is Bhagavan.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, आज का पॉडकास्ट केवल एक पॉडकास्ट नहीं है। जैसे कि आपको पता है, हम ज्ञान कास्ट लेके आते हैं, ज्ञान की धाराएं बहती है। और आज मैं एक बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट को हमारे साथ लेके आया हूँ। यहाँ पर आज आप कृष्ण जी ही नहीं, कलयुग के बारे में, किस प्रकार से आप जी सकते हैं अपने जीवन, ये सारे सवाल जो आपके दिमाग में आते हैं ना, वो मैं पूछने वाला हूँ। और आप लोगों से एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट है। मैं जिन गेस्ट को लेके आया उनके पास नॉलेज भरपूर है, पर वो ज्यादातर अपने सारे सेशंस इंग्लिश में रखते हैं। बट डोंट वरी, हिंदी के सबटाइटल्स चालू हैं और जैसे जैसे वो आंसर्स देते जाएंगे, मैं उन्हें अपने हिसाब से नट शेल में हिंदी में हर सवाल के बाद बताऊंगा। तो ध्यान से सुनिएगा, बिकॉज हमारे साथ हैं प्रभु चंचलापति दास जी।
नमस्ते, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा। एंड इनके इंट्रोडक्शन के बारे में मैं क्या बताऊं, इनको इतना ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है एंड कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें जो सवालों के थ्रू आपको पता लगेगी। तो मैं सीधे इस पॉडकास्ट में जंप करता हूँ। सो सर, मेरा पहला सवाल, आपने इंजीनियरिंग करी एंड यूजुअली कहा जाता है कि जो व्यक्ति इंजीनियरिंग जैसे प्रोसेस में चले जाते हैं, जो काफी ज्यादा हाइपर रेशनल हो जाते हैं, जो काफी प्रैक्टिकल हो जाते हैं, वो यूजुअली स्पिरिचुअल साइड में जाते नहीं है। बिकॉज आप जब इतनी सारी चीजें देख लेते हैं कि मशीन्स कैसे काम करती हैं, सॉफ्टवेयर्स कैसे काम करते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कैसे काम करती है, तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है, प्रभु के पथ पे चलना, भगवान के पथ पे चलना काफी मुश्किल होता है। आई जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये कैसे हो रहा है, मतलब हाउ कम एन इंटेलेक्चुअल लाइक यू इज इनटू स्पिरिचुअलिटी।
अब देखिए, श्रील प्रभुपाद जी का प्रेजेंटेशन, श्रील प्रभुपाद हमारा इस्कॉन का संस्थापन आचार्य है, उनका फिलोसॉफिकल प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत रैशनल है। In fact, it is most appealing to a rational mind. You know, one of the things very unique about Srila Prabhupada was, he was conscious, I am presenting this timeless Vedic wisdom to a modern audience and a global audience. And so he was always conscious, he was aware that the audience are expecting things to be rational, logical, reasonable, scientific. In fact, I'll give you one example. Srila Prabhupada explains what is yoga. Yoga is science of one's relation with the Supreme. Okay. Please notice, Prabhupada is saying there is we and there is a Supreme and there is a relationship, and that relationship is a science, not a myth, not an imagination, not some kind of a concoction of some imposition. It's a science. It's real. We all have a relation with the Supreme. And the science of one's relation with the Supreme is yoga. Just like we have a relation with our father and mother. Anybody can deny that? No. Even we may have disagreement with father and mother, but still they remain father and mother because we have come from them. Ek relationship hai. In the same way, there is a relationship between us and the Supreme. And we are vismrutaha. We are forgetful of that relationship. And that relationship should be revived. And the process of reviving the relationship is yoga. Like this, you see. So Prabhupada's presentation was very scientific. When I came across Srila Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada ji ka important contribution hai, unka books hai. All the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavata, the Upanishads, and the lectures he gave, these were all on the basis of Shastra, Vedic Shastra. And when I read those things, I was very deeply moved. I must admit one more thing. Not only I was impressed with Srila Prabhupada's philosophical description. The real turning point happened for me when I read Prabhupada ji ka life.
Oh.
Because you see, generally people speak big philosophy, and you see their personal life, it will be another kind.
Absolutely.
Prabhupada taught a very elevated philosophy, and he lived by it. If you see the sacrifice, the dedication, the difficulties he went through in his life, just to live by the principles that he was teaching, it was an amazing example of a perfect harmony between what is taught, what lives by. That impressed me. As a young boy, I was a young college student at that time, and that made a sort of a strong impression that there is a person with immense integrity. And that was a strong thing that.
Wow. So दोस्तों शीला प्रभुपाद जी के बारे में इन्होंने पढ़ा, उधर से इंस्पिरेशन मिली, और कहीं ना कहीं जब वो कॉलेज में थे इनके बारे में पढ़ा और उनकी मेन जो स्ट्रगल्स उनने देखी, उसके बाद कहीं ना कहीं ये मोटिवेट हुए और इनको एक चीज जैसे इनने कहा कि इसके पीछे पूरा साइंस है जिसको उन्होंने पूरी तरीके से एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करी. बट आई हैव द क्वेश्चन ओवर हियर सिंस यू मेंशन अबाउट प्रभु. While I read about him, I did get to know that in his life, he did get a couple of times heart attack. Okay. Now my question over here is, मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि उनको हार्ट अटैक हुए हैं और ऐसा कहा जाता है कि कोई व्यक्ति जो प्रभु के राह पे चल चुके हैं, जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी के राह पे चल चुके हैं, वो यूजुअली उनका माइंड काम रहता है, उनकी सेहत बहुत अच्छी रहती है, सब कुछ अच्छा रहता है, कुशल मंगल रहता है. बट हाउ कम इज इट पॉसिबल कि जो व्यक्ति इतने ज्यादा स्पिरिचुअल साइड में चल चुके हैं, जिन्होंने पूरे, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, अमेरिका को अपने साथ लेके चले थे, उनको इतने बार प्रभु ने, why the Almighty gave him so many punishments in the form of heart attack?
Yes, Prabhupada had heart attack. It was at the age of 70.
At the age of 17?
70.
70. Okay. Okay.
So Srila Prabhupada, so at an age of 70, it's not unlikely that one can get a heart attack. So Prabhupada was 70 years old and he was sailing in the ship. It was a 38-day journey to go to America. And when he was in the ship, he had 2 heart attacks. So that was the historical facts behind it.
Correct.
Now, you may ask the question, I mean, you have asked the question, why did Prabhu, Lord, give him heart attack? He was so devoted to.
Absolutely.
You see, the nature of the material world is like this. All kinds of tribulations may come, but a devotee is unaffected by that. That's the beauty. See, I'll give you one beautiful example in the Bhagavatam. This is after the Kurukshetra war, after Yudhishthira Maharaj has been made the emperor at Hastinapura, and everything is settled, and now Krishna is returning to Dwaraka. It was at that time. Different devotees come and offer their prayers. Yudhishthira's mother, Pandava's mother, Kunti Devi, she also comes and offers her prayers. That prayer is part of the Bhagavata. In that, she lists, my dear Lord Krishna, what all we have gone through in our life. She is making a reflection. You know, sometimes you recap, oh, my life, what all has happened. So she is doing that kind of a recollection. Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichrataha Mrudhe Aneka Mahara Tastratro Draunyastra Chasma Harevi Rakshitaha. So she is recapping, when my sons were young, Vishan Mahagne, they were poisoned. You know, there was an attempt to kill the Pandavas.
Yes.
And there was another attempt. They were set on fire. The house in which they were in were set on fire by the Kauravas, Duryodhana's evil plan. Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana. And when they were in exile, they encountered all kinds of monsters. And Asat Sabhaya, and how Draupadi was disrobed, that was an Asat Sabha. Asat means not a sabha, not a meeting of gentlemen. It was ungentlemanly. Asat Sabhaya. Vanavasa Krichrataha. And during Vanavas, all kinds of difficulties they experience. Mrudhe Aneka Maharathastra. And in the battle of Kurukshetra, there were big Maharathis, much more powerful than the Pandavas, and they had to face them. So she is narrating all these things, and then Ashwatthama's Brahmastra came and killed her grandchildren, Pandava's children. So she is recollecting all these things. Then you may expect she will say, Krishna, enough is enough. Let there not be any more difficulties like this. But you will be surprised. In the very next verse, she says, let vipadaha santutaha shashva tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhava darshanam. In the next verse, she says, Krishna, let such vipat, calamities, continue to come again and again and again. Because whenever such calamities come, we call out for you. And simply by calling out for you and by seeing you, we will not see another material existence again. Bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhavadarshanam. Bhavadarshana will not happen if we are remembering you, Krishna, if we are calling out your names. See, this is how this shows. Although the calamities were there, the bhakti of the Pandavas and Kunti, because of their bhakti, they were experiencing another kind of internal bliss and peace and happiness and tranquility.
Wow.
So externally this may go on, heart attack, this, that, but a devotee is internally having a certain kind of a calmness because of his remembrance of the Lord. That is what gives him internal strength to face all the challenges.
Wow.
So, Prabhupada, and there are many examples of great devotees, they experienced challenges and they were not disturbed by that.
Wow. So, प्रभु का एक अगर मैं कंक्लूजन इस चीज का बताऊं तो वो कह रहे हैं कि भक्ति की शक्ति में लोग इस तरह से जाते थे बिकॉज उसी के कारण उन्हें श्री कृष्ण के दर्शन होते थे कहीं ना कहीं. और जो भी व्यक्ति भक्ति के अंदर रहता है वो उन्हें ये सारी चीजें जो संसार में हो रही हैं, जो एक नॉर्मल इंसान को लगता है कि हमको ये गम कॉज कर रही है, हमको दुखी कर रही है, उनको इन सारी चीजों से प्रभाव ही नहीं पड़ता बिकॉज वो भक्ति में रहते हैं. बट प्रभु, आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन ओवर हियर व्हिच लीड्स बैक टू मी कि हमने एक देखा है, एक लेबरर होता है जो दिन में 17-18 घंटे काम करता है, ब्रिक्स उठाता है, सारे घर बनाता है, प्रभु की पूजा भी करता है, भगवान की पूजा भी करता है, कृष्ण को याद भी करता है, बट उसको दिन का वही 100-200 रुपीज मिलता है, घर पे खाने का कभी कभार स्ट्रगल चलता रहता है. वहीं पर जो मुझे हमेशा एक सवाल आता रहता है और काफी लोगों को भी आता होगा कि कुछ पॉलिटिशियंस होते हैं जो बहुत करप्ट होते हैं कुछ स्टार्स होते हैं सो कॉल्ड जो बहुत एरोगेंट होते हैं, जिन्होंने शायद बहुत लोगों को परेशान किया होगा. इस तरह के काफी बिजनेसमैन भी होते हैं. हमने अखबारों में, हम न्यूज़पेपर्स में पढ़ते हैं कि इस तरह के काफी बिजनेसमैन हैं जो बहुत गलत काम करते हैं. वो कुछ ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स बना रहे हैं जिससे लोगों को हार्म होता है, वो बहुत गलत चीज कर रहे हैं. एक चीज समझ में नहीं आती कि प्रभु की जो लीला है इसमें ये चीजें जस्टिफाइड कैसे होती हैं कि एक व्यक्ति जो पूरे इनोसेंस के साथ, पूरे संयम के साथ, भक्ति के साथ प्रभु को याद कर रहा है, और वहीं पर एक व्यक्ति जो छल कर रहा है, जो रॉन्ग थिंग्स कर रहा है, कपट कर रहा है, उसको प्रभु सब देते जा रहे हैं. हाउ डू वी जस्टिफाई दिस थिंग?
आप देखिए, in this material world, everybody is getting a reaction of the previous activities they have done. Now, it's a very interesting thing that we must deeply understand.
Sure.
Now, the world we live in, the way Krishna has designed it, when we perform a certain action, a reaction is born. And that reaction initially takes the form of a seed, bija.
Okay.
It's a bija of reaction.
Okay.
Now for a seed, you have to sow the seed in the ground. A plant has to grow. It will have many leaves. Then it will have flowers. The flower will become a fruit. The fruit will become ripe. When the fruit is ripe, it is called phalonmukha. Then you get the reaction.
Okay.
So the time from the performance of the action and for the bija reaction to become phalonmukha, there is a certain time that is adjusted by the Lord. Kala is Krishna's Shakti. In order to manage so many different things connected with the material world. So I'll give 2 examples in this. Why has the Lord made this kind of an arrangement? There was one village. One farmer went to the temple in that village and he made his prayer. Oh Bhagwan, my family is so big. I have got wife, I've got 10 children, I've got grandmother, grandfather, father-in-law. I have to look after all of them. Let there be plenty of rains this time so that I'm a farmer, I can grow well, I can make money. And he offered his prayers. He went away. After 10 minutes, the potter of the same village came to the same temple. And he made his prayer. Oh Bhagwan, I have a big family, 8 children, mother-in-law, father-in-law, this, that. Let there not be any rain. Let there be plenty of sunshine so that I can make pots. Then I can sell. I can take care of. Now you see, what will the Lord do? He is facing contradictory prayers. Yes. Both are his devotees, farmer and the potter. Now, Krishna has to manage both of them. So, now the way the Lord manages this is, he says, I'll give each one of you the result of your past activities. I will be neutral. Okay. I will not be partial to the farmer, to the potter, this or that. I will, because both of you are my children. True. So he has made a law. You will get your result, which is a function of your own past activities. That is the law of karma. And Krishna administers this without any partiality. Now, when he does that, at some times you will see somebody flourishing very well, somebody is suffering, because they are getting the reaction of their previous karmas. And after some time, if you see the same person for his bad karma, he will be suffering. Nobody will be spared. But it is in the form of a bija and it takes time for it to fructify. Okay. I'll give you another example to help us understand why this timing is important. You see, I remember many years ago, I read one story in the newspaper. Very sad story. There was a family. It's happened in Bangalore in the newspaper I read. So they had a child, 8-year-old child, son, and it was his birthday. And so the child called his friends. They were all playing around and mother was making some preparations. They were silversmiths. You know, they make silver pots and silver jewelry and some things like silversmiths. So they were, the child said, Mommy, I will go up and play. They were some 1 floor up or 2 floors up. They were playing there. And the mother was preparing for something for the children to come down and have. It's a birthday. So the children are playing in the floor above. That's where the father does his silver work. And they were a little tired. They were running around playing. And then they found a bottle. And they were tired. Playfully, that child drank the water. That was cyanide solution. In just a few seconds, the child passed away. Children came crying, screaming down. Now mother went up, father went up. On the birthday, the child died. How heartbreaking it must have been. And so the father, the mother, and there were grandparents were there. They were all, I should have died. Why did this child, 8-year-old child die? Now you see, let's analyze this situation from the point of view of karma. The husband and the wife, the father and the mother, whose child passed away. The child was a soul who had a life such that he will only grow up to 8 years and die. He will die a premature childhood death. That was the karma of that soul. That soul was sent as the child of that father and mother. Now, father and mother, they had the karma, both of them, that they will suffer the death of a child. So, the two father and mother, they got married. Somewhere they met in the cafeteria in the college and they looked at each other. Something happened between them and they developed a liking to each other and they got married. But both of them were selected carefully because they had a similar karma.
Oh.
Now you see, then we will go to grandfather, grandmother. They had the karma to experience the death of a grandchild while they are old people, they are alive still. So like this, you see how the Lord has to manage all these complex configurations, permutations and combinations, bring the right souls together and another right child which will die quickly. That also has to happen because everything has to happen according to karma. And no one will get unfairly anything in Lord's management. So you can imagine the complexities, and that is why the Shastras say, when an action is performed, a bija is created. When that bija will fructify, it depends on many, many other factors. Because if I am suffering, there are so many people connected with me, they also have to experience that suffering. Unless they have the karma for that, why should they get it? Or if I am enjoying something, the people connected to me also will get the benefit of that pleasure. So all of this has to be managed carefully. In fact, this is a multi-dimensional, multi-parameter, most complex problem. No computer can handle. Only Lord's intelligence can handle this.
Wow.
And this is what the Lord says. Wow. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddesh arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarva bhutanam yantrarudhani mayaya. The living Lord is situated in the heart of every one of us. And He is directing the wanderings of the living entity and all their experiences in the material world. This, the Lord is managing. This is the reality.
Wow. So दोस्तों, प्रभु ने एक अगर सिंपल शब्दों में कहूँ तो ये कहा है कि ये जो आपके साथ अगर कुछ गलत हुआ है या हो रहा है, ये आपके पास्ट कर्मा है. और एक बहुत अच्छी चीज उन्होंने कही कि हर एक्शन एक बीज को बोता है और यही रिएक्शंस होता है. तो यही इसका एक सारांश अगर कहें तो कोशिश कीजिए कि आप सारी चीजें अच्छी करने की कोशिश कीजिए, किसी को हर्ट करने की कोशिश मत कीजिए इंटेंशनली अनइंटेंशनली. बट अब मेरा नेक्स्ट सवाल जो प्रभु को होगा वो शायद इसी चीज से रिलेटेड होगा कि प्रभु, आपने जो कर्मा वाली बात बताई कि हमारा एक एक्शन हुआ जो एक बीज बो रहा है जिसमें मल्टीपल टाइप्स ऑफ रिएक्शंस होगा, तो
रिएक्शंस का बीज होगा.
एंड कहीं ना कहीं इससे मुझे जो समझ में आ रहा है कि आज के समय पे अगर कोई व्यक्ति बहुत ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल हो रहा है, बहुत ज्यादा प्रोस्पेरिटी आ रही है, तो उसने कहीं ना कहीं पास्ट एक्शंस उसके बहुत अच्छे होंगे, उसका रिएक्शन मिल रहा है. लेकिन मेरा यहाँ पर एक सवाल है कि फॉर दोज पीपल जो शायद एक गलत राह पे चल गए, उदाहरण के तौर पे एग्जाम्पल, एक पर्सन है जो बिकॉज ऑफ हिज पास्ट कर्मास वो पैदा हुआ एक क्रिमिनल के ही घर पे, जो बहुत बड़े गुंडे हैं, जो लोगों से एक्सटॉर्शन मनी लेते हैं, इस तरह के घर पे पैदा हुआ. बाय द एज ऑफ 9 उसने मर्डर कर दिया एग्जाम्पल, एंड मर्डर करने के बाद जुवेनाइल कोर्ट गया, उसके बाद 18 के बाद भी उसने चोरी डकैती करी और उसके बाद उसको जेल हुई, बट आफ्टर 15 ईयर्स वो निकलता है. मेरा सवाल ये है कि जो व्यक्ति अब बिकॉज ऑफ हिज पास्ट कर्मा या किसी कारण से ये सारी गलतियां कर गया है, क्या कोई तरीका होता है इस मटीरियलिस्टिक वर्ल्ड में कि हम उस कर्मा को सुधार सके, जब उसको ये रियलाइज हो जाए कि मैंने एक गलती करी है? क्योंकि देखिए, इंसान से ही गलती होती है, ह्यूमंस डू कमिट
Make
मिस्टेक्स,
mistakes.
but is there a way कि let's say in the recent past and suddenly somebody realizes that okay, I have done some mistake, I might have intentionally or unintentionally hurt somebody, क्या कोई तरीका है जिससे कि वो अपने इस कर्मा को जो वो इस समय पे लेके जा रहा है, जो आगे क्रेडिट या डेबिट हो जाएगा, क्या किसी प्रकार से उसे रोका जा सकता है?
Yes. Now, the reaction which is expected to unfold in a person's life, is there a way to counter or alter that one?
Yes,
Is the question.
yes, true.
There are two ways by which we can alter the Shastra. You see, all this knowledge, where are we getting from? Whatever I am explaining is from the Vedic literatures, from the Shastra, from the Acharyas, what they have taught in the Parampara, in the Sampradaya. So now, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this matter, exactly what you are saying is being analyzed in the conversation between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami. Shuka is the son of Vyasadeva, a great sage. Shuka and Parikshit, a great king, grandson of the Pandavas, both are conversing. This is Bhagavata. This question comes up. Parikshit asks, so if somebody is suffering like this because of past, is there a way to counter that? You see, the question you have asked today
It's
in
already there.
Vrindavan, 5,000 years ago, Parikshit had asked a similar question.
Wow.
So, Shukadev Goswami, Shuka, great Rishi, he says, the Shastras explain two ways to counter it. One is Prayaschitta. Prayaschitta means, okay, I made some mistake. This is what astrologers tell. When you go to a suffer, I'm suffering like this, you go to an astrologer, they'll see your kundali, they'll say, and then say, hey, aisa vrat karna, this upavas karna, this one karna, a puja karna, havan karna, something they will say. That is one way to counter. But that's not considered from the Vedanta point of view the best solution. That is compared to Kunjara Shauchavat. It is compared to an elephant taking bath. Elephant will take bath. After coming out of the water, will again take the dust and put it on its back and again become dirty.
True.
Right?
True.
It's like an elephant taking bath.
True.
So one may do that prayaschitta, but again perform another sinful activity and again has to suffer. Correct. So that's not considered a very intelligent solution. There is an intelligent solution, which is bhakti. That's what Bhagavatam says. Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. But when we do bhakti to Krishna, that can completely burn out. Nirdahati. Dahana means to burn. Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. If one does bhakti to Krishna, it can burn out. That is why Krishna says in the Bhagwad Gita, in the Shastras, in our dharma, do this dharma, do this prayaschitta, so many things may be there for remedy. Finally, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Krishna gives an alternative. No, those methods of prayaschitta which is there in the Shastra, that's not the best solution. Best solution is surrender to me. Giving up all other dharma. Sarva dharman parityajya. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Surrender to me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will free you from all the reactions of previous work. Do not fear. Okay. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. This is the message of Bhagavata. This is the message of Vedanta. That don't take the small time solutions. Let's attack this with the biggest solution that is possible, and that is Sharanagati to the Lord.
Wow. Okay. So प्रभु ये कह रहे हैं कि सबसे बढ़िया सल्यूशन है आप भक्ति का मार्ग लीजिए. इंस्टेड ऑफ थिंकिंग कि अब क्या करें, अगर आपको लगता है कि हमने पास्ट में गलतियां करी हैं, तो प्रभु ये कहते हैं कि कृष्ण जी को अपने आप को सरेंडर कीजिए। एंड जब आप वो सरेंडर करते हैं तो कृष्ण जी खुद कहते हैं कि हम वो सारी चीजें आपकी न्यूट्रलाइज हो जाएंगी एंड देन आप अपने पथ पे चल सकते हैं। बट आई हैव अनदर लीडिंग क्वेश्चन सिंस यू मेंशन कृष्णा। प्रभु, जब हम कृष्ण जी को देखते हैं उनके बचपन, व्हेन ही वाज यंग, जब चाइल्डहुड देखते हैं, काफी नॉटी थे, नटखट थे, परेशान करते थे, साथ में काफी बैटल्स उनके डीमंस के साथ चलते रहते थे, कोई ना कोई उन्हें अटैक करने की कोशिश करते थे बचपन में, लेकिन चंचल काफी थे, नटखट काफी थे। एंड धीरे धीरे जब वो बड़े हुए, मिड एज, मतलब जब तक वो अपने यंग एज में थे, वो बहुत शरारती थे। और उसके बाद जो एक आम इंसान उनका सेकंड वर्जन देखता है, वो होता है सीधे रणभूमि में, जहां वो अर्जुन को भगवत गीता का सार सिखाते हैं। मुझे ये समझना है कि ये जो विजडम थी, जो लॉर्ड कृष्णा के पास आई, जिसके कारण उन्होंने अर्जुन को पूरी तरीके से गाइड किया, एक व्यक्ति जो इतने ज्यादा नॉटी थे, जो सबको परेशान करते रहते थे, ऐसा कुछ दिखा नहीं था कि उनको इतना ज्यादा नॉलेज आ जाएगा। एंड फिर हम एक वर्जन देखते हैं जिनको इतना ज्यादा विजडम एंड नॉलेज आ जाता है कि जो पूरी दुनिया को ऐसी चीज सिखा के जाते हैं दैट इवन आफ्टर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ इयर्स we still have solution to all our problems. ये how this transition happen? ये transition हुआ कैसे एक नटखट बालक और एक इतने ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंट विजडम वाले लॉर्ड कृष्णा में?
You see, Krishna, as explained in the Shastra, he is Bhagavan. Throughout Bhagavad Gita it says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. When Arjuna is asking a question, it says Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna's question. When Krishna is replying, it doesn't say Krishna Uvacha. It says Bhagavan Uvacha. It is to remind us, Krishna is Bhagavan. He is special. He is different. And there is no time where he has no wisdom. It is just his Leela. In his younger days when he was here in Vrindavan, he exhibited that naughty behavior as a small child, frolicking, those kind of Leela. But it is not that when Krishna was a child, he did not have the wisdom, he did not have the strength, he did not have the understanding, because he is Shad Aishwarya Purna Bhagavan. Always it is said that the Lord has 6 Aishwarya. That is why he is called Bhagavan. Bhagavan means, you see that word Bhagavan, Shaktiman, Bhagyavan. Somebody who is very fortunate, lucky fellow, Bhagyavan hai.
जी,
Somebody has lot of money, ye Dhanavan hai. We'll say that word in Sanskrit and in Hindi also. Van means possessor of. Bhagavan means possessor of Bhaga. The Bhaga means exalted attributes, qualities of a person. And that is called, it is enumerated in the Shastra that the Lord has 6 Aishwarya, 6 Bhaga to an unlimited extent. And hence he is called Bhagavan. So Krishna, even when he was a child, he had unlimited strength. That's how he could kill Putana. And he could show the entire universe to his mother in his mouth. So all such things were possible. Although Krishna was a child, he's Shad Aishwarya Sampurna Bhagavan hai. And it's not that at some point he became enlightened like us. We'll be stupid as children, and then we go to school, college, and then little bit, now little intelligence may come. Lord is not like that. Lord was always intelligent, and hence his message of Sharanagati. I'll explain this point. Why, you may ask this another question. Why Krishna is demanding Sharanagati, surrender? I have an interesting reason to explain that. I will tell you. Now, this question about Sharanagati, I mentioned about, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Sharanagati, surrender to me. Now this question may come, why is Krishna demanding that?
yeah, why?
Isn't it? Yeah. And why Krishna is giving such a benefit to somebody who does Sharanagati to him?
True.
What is
biasness? Yeah.
So
But
he
yeah.
looks like he's demanding, and you
Yeah,
surrender, and he's
yeah.
ready to give you the whole world and free you from all suffering and all that. Why is he? You see, it is not an unreasonable ask of the Lord. It's a very reasonable thing. Say, for instance, I'm working in some company, and in that company, the company has given me a table to work, they have given me a laptop, they have given me Wi-Fi connection, there's an AC office, everything, all these things have been provided, and they are giving me salary, good salary. I'm enjoying all that, and in the morning when I come, I'll put on my headphones and I'll be watching Netflix movie on the laptop. Morning till evening, I'll be doing my own things.
That's
If
wrong.
the employer, is it right?
No, it's
not
wrong.
right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The employer will come and ask me, hey, I'm giving you salary, I'm giving you all these arrangement. You have to do work as per our company's requirement. You can't do your own thing. At least from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, when I'm giving you the salary, you are expected to do company work. You have to align yourself to the company's objectives. What role I have defined you to play, you must play that role. Is it unfair for the company, the employer, to ask that you work according to for the company's interest? It's not unfair. Now look at our situation. In the same way, the Lord has provided so many things for our existence. Every minute we need air. That air is provided by God. Every few minutes we need water. Water is provided by God. You may buy a bottle. When you pay for the bottled water, you're paid for the bottling company to bring that water to you. You're paid for the branding. You're paid for the advertisement. You're paid for his profit. You're paid for the taxes he pays. Everything you're paid, but he collected the water from the reservoir free of cost. When you pay your water bill also, a monthly bill, you're paying for the company department to bring the water to you. For picking up from the water from the river or the reservoir, it's taken free of cost.
Wow.
Now let's see. Every few hours we need food.
Correct.
And for food, where is food coming from? It's coming from the earth. It is because of the sunlight. It is because of water. It is because of air, oxygen. Because of all these things, food is coming. Sun. Without sun, there won't be food. Now, who has made all these arrangements? And these are not small arrangements.
True.
Massive, cosmic scale arrangements for our maintenance, for our sustenance, for our existence. Now, Lord, who has made all these things, provided all these things, allowed us to stay and have a life, is it unfair for him to ask to act according to my wish?
Absolutely not.
So, in the same way, as an employer demands from an employee that you have to work, you have to align yourself with the intent of the company which is employing you. In the same way, the Lord is saying, you have to align yourself with my intent. That's called Sharanagati. Is it an unfair ask?
Okay.
That's the meaning of Sharanagati. And so it is so essential that we must know, God, why have you created all this? What was your intention? And I must align myself with that intention. So this is called Sharanagati. It's not an unfair thing.
Yeah, it's not unfair.
You see?
True. So, प्रभु ने एक बहुत अच्छी यहाँ पर बात कही है. उन्होंने कहा है कि श्री कृष्ण इतने डिमांडिंग क्यों हो रहे हैं कि आप भक्ति राह पे जाओ, बिकॉज उसका एक सिंपल सा आंसर है. जहां से हम खाना खा रहे हैं वो कहां से आ रहा है? जमीन से आ रहा है. जो जल आता है, पानी, वो बादलों से आ रहा है, रिवर से आ रहा है. ये सारी चीजें हमें किसने प्रोवाइड करी? ये सारी ऑलमाइटी ने प्रोवाइड करी है. तो जैसे उन्होंने एक एम्प्लॉयर का एग्जाम्पल दिया कि वो जब बदले में इतनी सारी चीजें दे रहा है और हम लोग उस चीज के लिए अगर वर्क नहीं करते तो किस प्रकार से वो हमें डांटेगा. सेम श्री कृष्ण जी ने हमें इतनी सारी चीजें प्रोवाइड करी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ नेचर. दैट्स व्हाई ही इज डिमांडिंग. But I have another question over here. So मेरा ये सवाल है, just because आपने अभी एक corporate example दिया तो मेरे दिमाग में एक सवाल आया कि आज के समय पे जो हमारे व्यूअर्स होंगे वो मैक्सिमम या तो बिजनेस कर रहे हैं या तो फाइनेंस में या तो पॉलिटिशियंस भी काफी देखते हैं, काफी लोग अलग अलग तरीके के वर्क करते हैं, काफी रिलीजियस लोग भी देखते हैं। एक सवाल जो अक्सर लोगों के दिमाग में आता है, दे हैव दिस थिंग इन माइंड कि हमने अब एक घर बनाया है, हमारे माता पिता हैं, बच्चे हैं, वाइफ हैं, जिनके बारे में हमारा कर्म है, कर्तव्य है कि वी हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ दीज पीपल, बिकॉज हमने शादी करी है, बच्चे किए हैं, तो हमें उनका ध्यान तो रखना ही पड़ेगा। एंड फॉर दैट उनको जॉब करनी पड़ेगी। जॉब करनी पड़ेगी तो उनको 13-14 आवर्स, अगर आप सिटी साइड पे जाते हैं, लेट्स से बैंगलोर, सो 3 घंटे ट्रैफिक में आपको जाना पड़ेगा, देन 5-10 घंटे आपको काम करना पड़ेगा, फिर घर की ग्रोसरीज लानी पड़ेंगी, सारी चीजें करनी पड़ेंगी। ऐसे समय पे एक मॉडर्न डे इंडिविजुअल के पास भक्ति का राह लेने का समय कैसे होगा? हाउ वुड दैट पर्सन गेट द टाइम टू गेट डिवोटेड टुवर्ड्स कृष्णा? कैसे कर सकते हैं लोग?
आप देखिए, साइंस ऑफ डिवोशन, डिवोशन का विधान समझना, we have to understand how does this work, what is bhakti, how does it work. Now, yes, as you rightly said, modern day people's life are very stressed out, they have no time, they have to work. That is why Krishna says in the Gita, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmaram yudhyacha mayarpita manobuddhir mameva eshyasi asamshayah. Krishna is telling Arjuna, sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. He did not tell Arjuna, you forget the fighting in the battle and you only think of me and sit here. He didn't say. He said, mam anusmara yudhyacha. You remember me, think of me and fight. He was a warrior. He urged him to do his duty. So this is the message of Bhagwad Gita to all of us. We have our family, we have our duties to do. We should do our duty and learn the art of remembering Krishna always. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Simple Sanskrit, isn't it? Everybody can understand. So Krishna is saying we should do our duty, taking care of our family, office, all this, and remember Krishna. And that is an art. We must learn that art. So there are other guidance given. Say for instance, one simple way of doing bhakti, especially recommended for Kalyuga, it's actually called Navavidha Bhakti. In the Bhagavatam, there are 9 forms of bhakti. One is Shravanam. The shloka says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So there are Navavidha Bhakti. The first principle of bhakti is to hear about Krishna, understand the knowledge about Krishna as given in the Shastra, as given by the Acharyas. I see a lot of people, young people especially, they are driving, they are walking, they are glued into something, they are hearing something. So while one is commuting, you said 3 hours stuck in the traffic and such things, one can have something, in the car or going in a subway, you can be hearing about Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam. And Shravanam means to hear, Kirtana means to chant or to glorify. So chanting the names of Krishna is another method by which we can be connected to Krishna. We can be in touch with Krishna. All these are methods by which we are consciously in touch with Krishna. So chanting of Krishna's name is recommended, especially in this age.
Okay.
Kalau tad hari kirtana. Suppose somebody is cooking at home. While the mother is cooking, she can keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Somebody is driving, can be chanting. Wow. Somebody is doing some work and then in between something, computer is hanging, getting irritated. Hare Krishna, don't get irritated. So, in this way, we have to find how we can remember Krishna, be in touch with Krishna, along with our different duties. It requires a simple training, and this is how Krishna expects us to do bhakti while doing our duties that is needed, demanded of us in our role in this world.
वाह वाह सो प्रभु ने बहुत ही प्यारे तरीके से यही समझाने की कोशिश करी है कि कृष्णा ये नहीं कह रहे कि आप अपनी ड्यूटी मत करो और पूरी तरीके से बस मुझे ही याद करो। वो कह रहे हैं कि आप ड्यूटी करो और उसके साथ साथ आप डिवोशन कैसे कर सकते हो। उदाहरण के तौर पर उन्होंने बहुत सही चीज बताई। आप ड्राइव कर रहे हैं, आपके कानों में हेडफोन लगते रहते हैं और आप दुनिया भर के बॉलीवुड गाने सुन रहे हैं, उसी की जगह पर अगर आप कृष्ण के बारे में सुनते हैं, कृष्ण जी को याद करते हैं, तो वो भी आपके लिए काफी ज्यादा हेल्पफुल रहेगी। प्रभु, आई हैव अनदर क्वेश्चन। जब भी मैंने बहुत लिमिटेड किताबें पढ़ी हैं अराउंड कृष्णा, सो आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, बट जब भी मैंने पढ़ा है कहीं पर भी मैंने ये मेंशनिंग नहीं देखा है जहां कृष्ण ने ये कहा है कि मुझे आइडल के फॉर्म में वर्शिप करो। प्रभु ने कभी ये नहीं कहा कि मेरा आइडल आप स्थापित करो और मेरे को पूजा करो। उन्होंने ये जरूर कहा है कि आप डिवोटेड रहो, बट ये नहीं कहा। बट आज मेरा 3 दिन हुआ है, तीसरा दिन है, एंड थैंक्स टू योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उन्होंने मेरे को काफी अच्छे अच्छे प्यारे प्यारे जगह पे घुमाया है, दर्शन करवाए हैं श्री कृष्ण के पूरे वृंदावन में, और ये शायद कृपा है उनकी जिसके चक्कर में कर पाया हूं। बट मेरे दिमाग में ये सवाल जरूर है और काफी लोगों के दिमाग में आता होगा, व्हाई आइडल वर्शिप? क्यों जरूरी है, क्या करना चाहिए, क्यों करना चाहिए ये चीज?
ठीक है, आई विल टेल आंसर योर क्वेश्चन इन 2 पार्ट्स। आप एक शब्द यूज किया है आपने, आइडल वर्शिप। आप देखिए, ये विग्रह है मंदिर में, ये आइडल नहीं है। ये वर्ड आइडल कॉलोनियल रूलर्स हमको दिमाग में डाल दिया है। उनका रिलीजन में idolatry, idol worship is condemned. So they use the word idol. Idol, if you see in English dictionary, idol means a false representation, an imaginary representation, imaginary form. ये भगवान का, हमारा शास्त्र में विग्रह आराधना का बहुत समर्थन है। There are a lot of references for Vigraha Aradhana. I'll come to that one. So, Srila Prabhupada, when he translated Vedic literatures to English, he did not use the word idol, he used the word deity. If you see the English meaning of the word deity, it is a more reverential word. It means a divine representation. It is not a false representation. So, आप देखिए, it hurts us when somebody uses the word idol for Krishna. I read that in English newspapers, and I have a request through you, I am requesting all English journalists, please don't use the word idol. It has been put in our mind by the colonial rulers. They are not idol, they are Sakshat Bhagavan, represented in his Vigraha, Shri Vigraha Aradhana. That Navavidha Bhakti that I was mentioning, I was told, I have heard this, that colonial rulers put those words to actually shake our faith in our own culture. So, that's just an idle thing. It is not idle. There is a science behind that. Vigraha Aradhana, Shilpa Shastra is part of our Shastra. We have heard of Prana Pratishta. We recently had the Prana Pratishta of Ram Lala in Ayodhya. See, these are all vidhi given in the Agama Shastras. It is not idle. It is a form of the Lord created in matter. Lord is actually transcendental, beyond matter. This is what Krishna says in the Gita. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Krishna is saying in the Bhagwad Gita, my birth, my activities, my personality is divya. It is not mundane. It is not mortal. It is not ordinary like us. We are born, we stay for some time, we die. Krishna is not going through such changes. So, Krishna is saying, one who can know this truth about this, evam yo vetti tattvataha. Tattvataha vetti. Who can know the truth behind Krishna's personality. Punarjanma naiti. He will not take birth again. Mameti. He will come to me. So, unlocking the mystery and understanding the mystery of Krishna's personality is the way to get out of the material world. Krishna is saying, because he is not an ordinary person. So his deha, his vigraha, his sharira is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Our vigraha, our form is Asat, Achit and Nirananda. It is there for some time. It is not there always. After 100 years, you come and ask in this temple, where is that Prabhu who spoke to me? They say, he's gone.
After 100 years, even I'll be gone.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, even after 20, 30 years, they will say, he is gone. We will be gone. Our bodies are temporary. Krishna's body is not temporary. He is Nitya Navayavvanamscha. He was Navayavvana. He was always, it's another kind of a substance, spiritual substance. It's another kind of a reality that the Shastras are talking about Krishna, and Krishna himself is telling. So, Krishna is beyond the world. Ata Shri Krishna Namadhi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyaihi. This is another statement in the Shastra. Krishna's form, Krishna's name, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's activities cannot be understood by our senses. Indriya Grahana Shakti nahi hai. Indriyon ka. They don't have the ability to. So, because they are all transcendental. Now, that Lord who is beyond the material world, out of his compassion, kindness, he appears to be manifest himself in that vigraha made of stone, metal, wood, paint. These are all the methods that are described in the Shilpa Shastra. You can make Lord's form using these materials. And then a pure devotee, a very exalted acharya, he will pray, Krishna, come and reside, manifest your presence. That's called prana pratishtha. When a pure devotee invites the Lord, Lord will not say no.
Wow.
So out of his obligation for the devotee, he comes and resides. Once he resides, that vigraha is no more material. It is Sakshat Bhagavan himself. Wow. This is called prana pratishtha. After that, we have to treat that vigraha as good as Ram, as good as Krishna. We should do arati, we should do bhog naivedya, we should do jhula, we should do shayana, we should do jagarana. All the sevas we get to do for the Lord, and that is called archana paddhati. This is one of the Navavidha bhaktis mentioned in the Shastra. So it is appropriate to have such a vigraha, such a process of prana pratishtha followed according to the Agama Shastra, and the vigraha should be done as per Shilpa Shastra. So there is a whole science and technique behind this. So it is not an idol. It is somebody's just imagination. No, it is not. So there is references of that in the Shastra about deity worship and temple worship. There are abundant references, and that is why so many acharyas here in Vrindavan, so many great Goswamis, they have all built temples of Krishna and Radha. They were their pranadhana. They were worshipping them as their life and soul, the treasure of my heart. So that is the way. And even common people like us, we can go and pray to the Lord. And Prabhupada used to say, you can go and to a temple and pray to the Lord. You can reveal your heart. You can speak to the Lord, and the Lord will reply, provided you have the devotion.
Wow. So, प्रभु ने फिरंगी पत्रकारों को और हमारे इंग्लिश पत्रकारों को एक मैसेज भी दिया है कि आइडल बोलना बंद कीजिए, वो विग्रह हैं, डीटीज हैं, कहीं पर भी हमारे इधर मेंशन नहीं किया गया। ये वेस्ट से हम इन्फ्लुएंस होकर हमने इस शब्द का उपयोग करना शुरू किया है, तो कृपया करके इस चीज पे आप लोग ध्यान दीजिए। प्रभु, मेरा इधर से एक और सवाल है, जब हम बचपन में सीरियल देखते थे श्री कृष्ण जी की, महाभारत देखते थे, या फिर हम कोई किताब भी पढ़ते थे उस समय पे जिसपे पिक्चर्स रहती हैं जो सारा दर्शाते थे कि इस तरह से हुआ था, ये हुआ था, तब एक चीज देखते थे कि काफी सारे लोग रहते थे जो उस समय पर अगर कृष्ण को बुलाते थे तो कृष्ण प्रकट होते थे और दर्शन देते थे। लास्ट एटलीस्ट जब से मेरा जन्म हुआ है, मैंने इस तरह कहानियां जरूर सुनी है कि इनको किसी ने दर्शन दिया, उस पर दिया, ऑल्दो उसका कोई प्रूफ मुझे आज तक दिखा नहीं है। बट आज के समय पे श्री कृष्ण आके जब हम इतना कुछ लोग पुकारते हैं, बिकॉज हमारे घर पे भी अगर हम देखते हैं, जो हमारे ग्रैंड मदर्स होती हैं, जो ग्रैनीज होती हैं, वो काफी पूजा पाठ करते हैं, निरंतर उपवास रखते हैं, मंदिर जाते हैं, सारी चीजें करते हैं, ना नॉन-वेज लेते हैं, ना सारी चीजें। उनको श्री कृष्ण जी आके दर्शन नहीं दे रहे हैं। लेकिन पहले अगर जैसे गोवर्धन पर्वत का जब लीला हुआ था तब सबने बुलाया, तब श्री कृष्ण उधर ही आ गए। उसके बाद भी श्री कृष्ण जी को, जैसे द्रौपदी जी का जब हरण हुआ था उस समय पे भी बुलाया, तब श्री कृष्ण जी आ गए। आज हम कृष्ण जी को बुलाते हैं तो कृष्ण जी प्रकट क्यों नहीं होते अपने रूप में?
Now you see, Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago with so many of his associates and did his Leela. So at that time, when the devotees called out, because they were all very, very exalted devotees, when they call out, immediately Krishna appeared. Now, even now, if we call with that devotion, with that qualification, the devotional qualification, Krishna will come. Krishna will manifest. It is not that Krishna will not come, but do we have the devotion? I'll tell you one more shloka is there from the Shastra. It says, there is one ointment. If you apply this ointment to your eye, you can see Krishna always. Premanjanachurita bhakti vilochanena santaha sadaiva hrudayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. This verse talks about premanjana. Anjana means ointment. That's why we have Amrutanjan.
Oh,
okay. It's Amruta Anjan.
Point. Okay.
Anjana means ointment. Here, this verse is talking about Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. The devotees have applied one ointment to their eye called Achurita. Achurana means to apply it on your eye. They have applied an ointment called Prema. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaha Sadaiva Hrudayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. Simple Sanskrit. Everybody can understand. You see, because they have applied the ointment of Prema Bhakti to their eye, Santa Sadaiva Hrudayeshu Vilokayanti. Constantly they are seeing Krishna in their heart. But what is our life? We have also applied one kind of ointment, not one kind, maybe 6 or 7 kinds of ointment. We have applied an ointment called Kama Anjana, lust, Krodha Anjana, anger, Matsarya Anjana. All these different ointments we have applied. We look at the whole world. I'm thinking how I'll enjoy, how I'll dominate over another person, how I'll take away something, how I'll have more and more for myself. This is not Prema Anjana. Then you cannot see Krishna. So there is a way that if we apply Prema Anjana, if there's another verse in the Bhagavatam, Kunti's prayers only, Kunti's stuti only. She says, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edamana Madhav Puman Naivarhatya Bhidatum Vai Tvama Kinchana Gochara. Exactly to answer your question, Kunti has answered. I'll explain this. She says, people are Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shri. We are always looking for these 4 things. Janma means I should be born in an aristocratic, rich family. I should be born in a poor family. Janma. Aishwarya. I must have lot of wealth. I must have lot of, possessions. Janma Aishwarya Shruta. I should be respected as a very learned man. And Shri, I should be very handsome and beautiful. These are the things people are asking for,
Correct.
expecting. So she says, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edamana. Edamana means to enhance and expand and amplify these four things. This is what our life is all about. Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edamana Madhav Puman. And we have become intoxicated by this.
True.
We have become mad after expanding all these material things. When you are in that kind of a consciousness, I want this, I want this, I want to expand this, you cannot call out Krishna's name properly. Conch shell is blowing.
Yes.
Naivarhatya abhidhatum vai. Because Tvam akinchana gocharaha. Because Krishna, you are gochara. Gochara means to perceive, to understand, to see. You are akinchana gocharaha. Akinchana means one who has no such material possessions and greed for having all these different things. I want to expand this. I want to enjoy this. This kind of a madaha. Edamana madah puman. Naivarhatya bhidatum. Such people cannot call out. So there is a quality to our calling out for Krishna. There is a quality to our prayer. If we have the right quality of prayer, Krishna will respond. And that's why Kunti Bhagavata is telling us how to develop that. He can be perceived, he can be seen by those who are akinchana, who are free from attachment. And so these are the qualities that we must develop.
Wow.
The Shastras are teaching.
Wow. So प्रभु ने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से ये समझाने की कोशिश करी है कि श्री कृष्ण जी को अगर पाना है या प्रभु को अगर पाना है तो आंखों में एक ऑइंटमेंट आपको लगाना पड़ेगा, वो होता है प्रेम भक्ति का। और हम लोग लगा के घूमते हैं 6 अलग अलग तरीके के ऑइंटमेंट्स, लस्ट का हो गया, मटीरियलिस्टिक चीजों को ग्रहण करने का, सुंदर दिखने का। तो अगर आपको सही राह लेना है तो प्रेम भक्ति का राह अपनाइए, तब जाके आप सही रास्ते पे चलेंगे, अदरवाइज आप एक बिल्कुल गलत तरीके पे चल रहे हैं। प्रभु, आई हैव अनदर क्वेश्चन। आज के समय पे जब हम इंटरनेट ओपन करते हैं तो काफी सारे यंगस्टर्स हो गए, काफी सो कॉल्ड स्यूडो इंटेलेक्चुअल्स हो गए, वो लोग कलयुग के बारे में बहुत बात करते हैं, क्योंकि इंटरनेट पे ये वर्ड काफी आजकल ट्रेंड होता है, कलयुग।
अच्छा,
जी जी जी, कलयुग काफी ट्रेंड होता है, बट उसको काफी ग्लोरीफाई किया गया है, फैसिनेट। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सम इंटरप्रिटेशंस हैव बीन टेकन राइटली, कल की अवतार होंगे, फिर ये होंगे, बट उसमें बहुत वर्जन्स जोड़ दिए गए हैं कि सुपर हीरोज जैसे 7-8 लोग आएंगे, उसके बाद राक्षस इतना बड़ा होगा कि कोई खत्म ही नहीं कर पाएगा उनको, और बहुत वेरिड कंसेप्ट्स बताए गए हैं। इट्स अ मिक्स मैच। I mean, youngsters जो consume कर रहे हैं, those who really want to go into the right direction, they are misfit, because when I try to tally it with whatever is written in our Vedic things or scriptures, so that is altogether different, because यहाँ पर थोड़ा fantasy Marvel की movie बना दी है हॉलीवुड की कि ये होगा वो होगा। So I want, मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये कलयुग का जो कंसेप्ट है कि ये कब से शुरू हुआ, कैसे अंत हो सकता है, हम किस फेज में हैं। अब कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि कल की अवतार अभी हो गया है और 2026 में दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगी, उसके चक्कर में by 2026 the world will end, so everybody is in tension that what to do. So some used to ask me, should we get married instantly because 26 it is going to, 18-year-olds are actually asking me. So सवाल मेरा सिंपल सा है, आप भले ही आप समय लीजिए इसको एलैबोरेट करके, ये कलयुग का जो कंसेप्ट है, so that even a layman can understand this thing कि ये कलयुग कब से चालू हुआ, what is this कलयुग, what all things we are seeing right now which was already mentioned, because I'm pretty sure कुछ चीजें यहाँ पे लिखी होंगी जो हम शायद आज के समय पे ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं। कलयुग ये कितना लंबे समय तक जाएगा, क्या मैं कलयुग के एंड तक रहूंगा या मैं उससे पहले निकल जाऊंगा, इसके बारे में थोड़ा कलयुग को थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कीजिए।
Surely. Now you see about the concept of the yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. These are all described in the Shastras in different places. There is one particular scripture called Surya Siddhanta, in which the calculations are also mentioned. So, Kali Yuga lasts for 4 lakh 32,000 years. 4,32,000 years. And Dwapar Yuga is 2 times this. 8,64,000 years. Treta Yuga is 3 times Kali Yuga. And Satya Yuga is 4 times the duration of Kali Yuga. And all the 4 yugas put together is 43 lakh.
43 lakh.
So that is the duration of Mahayuga. 4 yugas put together is called Mahayuga. And anyway, coming to Kali Yuga, 4,32,000 years is the duration of Kali Yuga. It began about 5,000 years back.
Oh, I won't stay till the end. Okay. Yeah.
So you have 4,28,000 years more to go for Kali Yuga.
Okay.
This is in fact only a beginning of Kali Yuga. We can say this, we are now in the dawn of Kali Yuga.
Oh.
Not much time has, if you compress whole Kali Yuga from sunrise to sunset, like say 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it is now about 6:30 a.m. That's all. Whole day is there for Kali Yuga to unfold. So just to give an understanding. Yeah. So, Shastras describe, yes, what all happens in Kali Yuga. Kalau sattvaharam pumsam is one of the descriptions in the Shastra. You see, there are sattvaguna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. These are the 3 gunas. These 3 gunas are part of material nature and they constantly influence our consciousness, our prajna. Because of our consciousness is influenced by the 3 modes, our thinking, our intelligence, our convictions, our activities are all influenced by the 3 gunas. And hence, we have to be watchful how certain activities, certain gunas should be beneficial for us and some are not beneficial for us. Sattva guna increases goodness in us, good qualities. It makes us sober. It makes us thoughtful. It makes us discern what is good, what is not good. Rajoguna increases the passion. I don't care for anything. It is for my pleasure, for my enjoyment. I should get as much as possible. I don't care for you. I don't care for the world. That's Rajoguna. It is because of Rajoguna we have been exploiting the world and all the climate situation, all the things that are because of Rajoguna civilization we have developed. And Tamoguna is ignorance of the larger reality. Laziness. Ignorance is the main factor of tamoguna. So, sattvaguna pravruddha, if you increase sattvaguna, one will become very sober, thoughtful, careful, sensitive about other people, about the planet, about everything around us. You are more careful about it. You are very mindful about it. That's sattvaguna. Rajoguna, just rajasic. Tamoguna, completely ignorant. So, the characteristic of Satya, of Kali Yuga is Kalau Sattvaharam Pumsam. It will deplete the Sattva Guna influence in human beings. As a result of which, another name for Kali Yuga is Kalaha Yuga. Because of Sattva content is diminished in human society, even for the smallest thing we will fight with each other. It leads to quarrels and dissension, differences, and we will fight over it. This is a most fundamental characteristic of Kali Yuga. That's why you see, in the traffic, one small scratch happens, both the people will get off the car and they'll fight with each other and sometimes even punch the other person.
Sometimes even kill.
Sometimes even rage.
Yes.
You see, that kind of a rage comes over, they kill. Many people who have murdered, they are sitting in the jail, they are like, oh, what did I do? Why did I do that? I should have controlled my anger. Between brothers, fight happens. Between neighbors. So, fight, dissension, quarrel, within the family, within communities, between states, between countries. All this is prevalent and we are seeing this. This is because of kalau sattvaharam pumsam. So there is a way by which we can increase the sattvaguna content in our lives. There is a way we can diminish the rajoguna and tamoguna content in our. These are all the things that are described in the Shastras. And if we lead a life according to that, then you see, we will be able to have a better understanding of these things.
Wow.
And so Kali Yuga, by and large, means that prayen alpayushah sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayor manda bhagyahya upadritaha. One of the characteristics of Kali Yuga in this verse, there are many characteristics, I won't go into it,
Sure.
but I'll just go to one of them, upadritaha. People will always be disturbed. A rich man is disturbed in his life. A poor man is disturbed. Famous man is disturbed. Common man is also disturbed. Educated man is disturbed. Uneducated man is disturbed. Everyone is disturbed in Kali Yuga.
True.
And spirituality requires a certain kind of a tranquility, certain kind of a peace for reflection. What is life about? What is going on? This requires a little bit of a calming down. That calming won't happen in Kali Yuga. Everyone is agitated. These are all the characteristics of Kali Yuga. And this is only the dawn of Kali Yuga. As Kali Yuga progresses, you can imagine how much more severity of all these things will be. And it's very unfortunate. This is the truth about it.
So प्रभु ने इतने अच्छे तरीके से समझाया. पहली चीज है ये जो गलत मैसेजेस फैल रहे हैं कि कलयुग कब खत्म होने वाला है, ऐसा नहीं है. बिकॉज इट इज 4 लाख हाउ मेनी इयर्स
32,000 years
4,32,000 years और अभी केवल 5,000 years ही हुए हैं. सो काफी ज्यादा समय बचा है. और प्रभु ने एक बहुत सही चीज कही कि ये तो कलयुग की शुरुआत है. दिस इज जस्ट अ डॉन. जहां पर कि आप देख रहे हो जो एग्रेशन लोगों में बढ़ रहा है, जो ये सारी चीजें हैं. और यहाँ पर चाहे बंदा जो भी व्यक्ति है उसके पास भले ही बहुत ज्यादा धन भी हो, बहुत कम धन भी हो, चाहे बहुत सक्सेसफुल भी हो, पर हर कोई परेशान है. और ये कलयुग के ही सारे लक्षण हैं जो धीरे धीरे करके और एग्रेसिव तरीके से बढ़ते जाएंगे. ये तो बस शुरुआत है और बुरा यहाँ पर होता जाएगा. प्रभु, रिस्पेक्टिंग योर टाइम, आई हैव वन मोर क्वेश्चन एंड लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड. मुझे पूरा आशा है कि हमारे सब्सक्राइबर्स को काफी पसंद आ रहा होगा. कमेंट्स में पार्ट 2 जरूर लिखिएगा ताकि मैं प्रभु के साथ और एक पार्ट करूँ. लाइक जरूर कीजिएगा. सो आई हैव वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन which is essentially for almost all my viewers, सारे viewers के लिए. आपने एक चीज तो बताई कि अगर कोई कृष्ण भक्ति के मार्ग पे चलते हैं, काम करते वक्त भी, जब हम कार में जा रहे हैं, हम कृष्ण के बारे में सुन रहे हैं, तो उससे कहीं ना कहीं हम चीजें नॉर्मल कर सकते हैं, एक स्पिरिचुअलिटी के राह पे तो चल सकते हैं. बट काफी यंगस्टर्स भी हैं जो आज के समय में कोई वर्क स्ट्रेस होता है, कोई पढ़ाई का स्ट्रेस होता है, उसके चक्कर में काफी लोग डिप्रेशन में जा रहे हैं. एंड you would be surprised, मैं अपने डायरेक्ट मैसेजेस देख नहीं पाता हूँ बिकॉज रोज के मेरे को 500 to 600 मैसेजेस आते हैं थ्रू रैंडम पीपल. बट कभी अगर मैं गलती से क्लिक करता हूँ, देयर इज अ रीजन व्हाई आई डोंट क्लिक दोस मैसेजेस, इज क्योंकि काफी सारे लोग ये लिखते हैं कि भैया मैं बहुत परेशान हूँ, मैं सुसाइड करने चाहता हूँ. एंड दिस इज अ सैड स्टेट. एंड मोस्टली व्हाट आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड इज कि ये ज्यादातर लोग 15 साल की उम्र से लेके 30 इयर्स के बीच में सबसे ज्यादा मुझे मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं. किसी को फाइनेंशियल ट्रबल हो गया है, किसी ने लोन्स बहुत ले लिए हैं, किसी का, एक शख्स का आया था कि मेरी जॉब भी चले गई है, जॉब जाने के बाद मेरी वाइफ मुझे डाइवोर्स देके जा चुकी है बिकॉज मैं उनका टेक केयर नहीं कर सकता हूँ. एंड शी मैरिड बिकॉज आई वाज वेल अर्निंग एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, और मैं अपना लाइफ को एंड करना चाहता हूँ, या तो आप मदद कर लीजिए. नाउ आई डोंट नो हाउ टू हेल्प दीज पीपल. अगर आप, if you can give some bullet points or some ways which are already mentioned in the Gita or anywhere, जिससे कि इनको हेल्प हो सके कि डिप्रेशन में वो ना जाएं, ये सुसाइडल टेंडेंसीज ना रखें, what could be the solutions other than भक्ति जो आप यहाँ पर सजेस्ट करना चाहेंगे?
You see, from the Shastra, from the Gita, from the Bhagavata, from the Upanishad, from the Vedanta, a systematic understanding of bhakti about our position, about the universe is the solution.
That's the only solution?
I'll tell you how it works.
Sure.
The Shastras point out there is a profound purpose for our life. Why all this is happening, all that you described, people don't have a well-established, well-founded, solid, and exalted purpose in their life. They are thinking, I should make little more money, I should enjoy this, I should become famous, all these will come and go. There is a much more deeper purpose for our existence. As I was telling you, why has the Lord made all these arrangements of cosmic scale to make us live here? Why has He brought us here? Just like anybody who is watching this one, I don't know, you are a young man. Anyone who has got a child, the father and mother are always thinking how my child is. Even when the child has gone to engineering college, mother is thinking, Mera beta kaisa hai?
True. And just to tell, our demographics age group is between 20 to 60. So there is a wide range of audience.
So anybody who has a child, anyone, even if the child is grown up, the father and mother are thinking about the child, isn't it?
True.
Even if they are doing something else, even if they are watching a movie, in the back of their mind, how is my child? I hope that my daughter, my son is safe.
True.
This is the nature of a mother, father and child. Very caring, very concerned. Krishna says in the Bhagwad Gita, Pitaham asya jagata mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father, I am the mother, I am the grandsire, I am the provider of all living entities in this world. Does He not have a concern for us? In fact, we play the role of father, mother in this world. Krishna is a million times more concerned father and mother of all of us. And why is Krishna allowing this to happen? Why are these things happening? Because we don't know Krishna's plan. We have our own plan. We are leading our own life, making our own life, what I should be doing. We are not consulting Krishna. You see, it's like this. Suppose I buy one big LED screen. I am a Buddhu. I am not very intelligent. I bought an LED screen and I paid 10 lakh rupees and bought a big screen. And I will call you and show, see, I bought this one, and then I'll turn on, and then audio is coming, no video is coming. And I'm telling, see, so nice, no, this 10 lakh rupee LED screen I have bought. You will say, hey, what kind of a Buddha are you? It is supposed to give more than just a audio. I don't know all those things. You will say, bring that manual. Oh, yes, when I bought the LED big screen, they gave me one manual. You will look at this one, and then you will take the remote and do some adjustment. Bang! The image comes. Oh, this LED screen can give video also. I was thinking only good audio will come. You see, when I don't consult the manual, I don't know how to take the full out of it. I will only be taking something out of this gadget, and I'll be thinking, oh, I have done such a good thing. No, I have invested so much money. I can get so much more. I must consult the manual. In the same way, just like for a gadget, there is a manual. The manual for the universe, the manual for our life is Bhagavad Gita, the Shastra. If we don't consult that, we will not know what this life can actually give us. We think that we should get some little enjoyment this way, that way. I should look good, I should dress up nicely, I should have that's the good thing. See, I'm having all this. From a spiritual point of view, you have not taken the full worth of your life. This life can give you much more. Just like that foolish fellow, he was hearing the audio and thinking, oh, my 10 lakh rupees investment, I've got such nice audio. Stupid fellow, that LED screen can give much more. In the same way, our life can give us much more if we are directed, if we consult the Shastra. And most important thing the Shastra gives is, there is a very sublime, very exalted purpose for our life. If we are educated about it, if we are if we are trained to understand this one, it requires a certain kind of a sensitivity and education. If we are conscious of it, then when all these difficulties come in our life, we will know how to navigate through that. When we get up in the morning, when the alarm rings, in a second, that purpose of life should infuse us. And then we get up and say, my God, this is what my life is for. Okay, I have all these different problems. I have my wife problem, husband problem, this problem, money problem. All right, I'll figure out all that. You will know how to do all those things. I'll give you one example Srila Prabhupada gives. There was a boy. He had gone away from home for a long time for studies, for a job, something, it happens like that. And then afterwards, after many years, he was returning to his house. And it was a long 20 hours train ride. He didn't get a proper ticket, at least now things are better in train. Yes. In my days, train was terrible.
Even these days, it's not that good. But
not all that, but still I think there is a good part of train.
Yeah, there is a good part.
Train. Yeah. So this person was trying, he didn't get a train, he was in an unreserved compartment, things were not all right, it was hot, no AC, trouble, no water to drink, all kinds of problems. But he was always thinking, I'm going to be with my parents, I'm going to be with my family, I'm going to be with my loved ones very soon. Wow. That 20 hours just passed away because he was always thinking, I'm going to be with my family. Wow. In the same way, if there is a powerful, enchanting, attractive objective to our life, all the miseries that come, we'll say it's okay. Wow. We know how to tolerate it. So this kind of a spiritual purpose is missing in life. People are not educated, people are not trained about it. And so when difficulties come, they don't know what to do. They look at the fan. This is not the right thing. There's a much better life. There's a much better purpose of life. Yes, we must know how to handle all these things. This is what the Shastras can give. This is what our Acharyas can give. If we are directed by that, then we'll have a much better quality of life for all people. So this is what we would say. Wow. People should learn the meaning and purpose of life. It's not a small arrangement that's all around us. I'll give you one small example. With that we will close if you wish.
Sure. Go ahead.
You see how many things we eat with our mouth, isn't it? Sometimes hard thing, we bite, and then nut, we bite. And all this our teeth is able to do. Chewing. And in the mouth, there is a soft tongue. While we chew, the tongue goes back. Occasionally, accidentally, if I bit my tongue, we will say, how many times it happens? Once or twice or thrice in our life. How many million times we chew food? And are we conscious of it? We are not even conscious of it. We take something, we start eating rice, dal, jamun, very nice, we get nice cake, nice pizza.
And busy with our phones also.
We are busy with the phone and we are eating, consuming things. Yeah. But the tongue is withdrawn. How all these complex arrangements are made? This body is a phenomenal arrangement. One scientist, one engineer from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, he wrote a book and he wrote a paper. He was actually considered one of the founding fathers of nanotechnology. He says, if you take a leaf, what is happening in a leaf? It is taking carbon dioxide. It is taking sunlight, converting that into oxygen, photosynthesis. It is converting into starch, all complex molecules. And then it is releasing oxygen so that human beings and animals can breathe that. He says, the kind of complex processes that are going on at a molecular level in a leaf is 1,000,000 times more complex than an Intel chip is doing. We are amazed by Intel inside. We are amazed by that. But 1,000,000 times more complicated things are happening all around us in the leaves, in nature. We are not conscious of it. So if such complex arrangements are being made, what is life all about? Why am I part of it? Why did I come into this world? Why all these things? We must know. And that's what the Shastras provide. And that knowledge and understanding surcharges a person. And then he will know all these challenges, difficulties. I lost a job, my wife is unhappy, my children are happy, my husband is unhappy, this loss has happened, something, or gain has happened. I don't get floored by gain nor floored by loss. How to maintain that equanimity? This kind of an education, this is required.
Wow.
This is what the Shastras provide.
So प्रभु ने कंक्लूजन में एक बहुत अच्छी चीज कही है कि जितने लोग आप में से हताश निराश हैं, जीवन से हार मान रहे हैं, डिप्रेशन में हैं, जो लगता है कि अब सब कुछ छोड़ दें, प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आपने अपनी स्पिरिचुअल एजुकेशन पे ही ध्यान नहीं दिया. एंड दिस ऑल्सो गिव्स यू अ वेरी सॉलिड रीजन क्यों हमें भगवत गीता पढ़नी चाहिए. बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं जब तक आप उस स्पिरिचुअल राह पे नहीं चलोगे, यू वोंट गेट दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ पावर. आपके पास वो विजडम नहीं रहेगा, क्योंकि जैसे प्रभु ने बताया कि कृष्ण जी के आपके लिए और बड़े प्लान्स हो सकते हैं. आप क्यों अपना दिमाग इतना लगा रहे हो कि बस यही प्लान करना है, यही प्लान करना है. जैसे उन्होंने टीवी का एग्जांपल दिया, एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन. तो आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि लॉर्ड ने आपके लिए और अच्छे प्लान्स, और बड़े प्लान्स बनाए हैं, तो सरेंडर कीजिए उनको. और इसी के साथ प्रभु, थैंक यू सो मच that you came into our podcast, and hopefully people, I'm pretty sure, not hopefully, कि they must have learned a lot and काफी चीजें सीखी हैं. दोस्तों, आपके और भी जो भी सवाल हैं वो कमेंट्स में आप बिल्कुल लिखिए, ताकि हम प्रभु से जब अगली बार भेंट करें तो उनसे ये सवाल पूछें. Thank you so much for coming.
Most welcome. It was such a pleasure, such a delight to talk to you. Very good questions, very relevant questions you have asked.
Thank you so much.
Namaste, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.